when you see the Boston Dynamics now,
Flamethrower?
they're starting to like say they sell things. We should call up and say we want to buy one.
Yeah.
Like you can buy
a machine.
Yeah, you can buy a dog with a on it. That's what they came out with. You know, like the stock price thing you always say they do. Like they're just like, oh yeah, now you can buy a dog with a on it. Boston Dynamics now.
Things they promised they would never do.
Hi, I'd like to buy someone with the dog.
This is fake.
Where's the shopping cart?
Yeah, where's my cart?
It could be just terror. It could be just terror. Absolutely.
No, I think it's because they got to pump the stock price up and keep their jobs. I think that's probably why. Because it doesn't inspire terror.
Yeah,
and it's also like it's not like a terrifying idea. It's kind of like a technological inevitability. You'd think in the future there's going to be robot soldiers or something, but it's just not. We're not near that.
Like thermal cameras and sensors.
Anytime these people promise something that sounds like it's from science fiction, it is to boost up the stock price.
Yeah,
I think that's where all the AI talk comes from too. But we talked to somebody who talked to Boston Dynamics about usage. They had a use case for these dog things, and they were like, "Can it go? Can it walk a mile?
Can it fuck
in 30-degree weather and replace this easy to replace part?" And Boston Dynamics, they were like, "Well, it can do that for an hour, but then it needs a battery change, and we're confident that it can get within 15 feet of the target, and possibly like it wasn't."
Oh, a bad answer.
The thing it can't do a simple like human
you can
task.
cook me chop suey, Sam, right? And you're like, "So I can chop celery."
Well, I can. yeah.
I'll tell you that
the task that they were describing was something that you would pay like a dealership, not even a dealership runner, like a guy that's like in dirty pants.
Yeah.
And like doesn't speak any language.
Language.
Like that guy, it doesn't speak any language. That's the type of talent that's needed for this like base industrial warehouse like part replacement task. The robot cannot do that.
And we're supposed to believe that the best way to do this is a dog with a camera on its head
and a flamethrower.
Yeah, that's what like we're supposed like as like a logistics, like a chemical plant logistics like supply chain person master. You think that the best way to do it is to run like a robotic camera to be like, oh look, it can pick up the thermal heat on the processor pump to make sure it's not overheating. Or how about a sensor on the fucking pump? You
Bowser.
The other thing is they
oh, that's good. What is that?
The use that's believable for military use is using it like a donkey, like basically having a dog shaped thing as a pack animal to carry stuff over terrain.
Yeah,
they had videos of that like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember that back from like high school. I think or college.
Forever.
They're called Chevy 1500 pickups.
Yeah, exactly. So if it was able to bring more value than a Chevy 1500 pickup, it would be in use already, you know?
This is the military video. They're just like a fat cat.
13 years ago.
Yep.
So even before that, I bet it was like 2007, the big dog. There we go.
Thing.
Yeah, this thing works.
I'd use a quad, a Kawasaki Bayou 900.
Yeah, exactly.
They won't hear you coming.
I used to play Quake with Big Dog back in the day.
You're in a war. You're trying to like snipe people. You send this fucking retard over the mountain.
You hear it?
Yeah.
It's a big lawnmower.
Yeah.
Two weed whackers driving the legs.
Thing looks great.
Yeah.
How ginger it is while walking. It's like afraid to get dirty.
Look at this war machine.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, man, that thing's gonna really win some wars.
It's
2005. 2005. Big Dog was 2005.
Wow. 20 years ago, almost.
Yeah, man.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're really hauling ass over there at Boston Dynamics.
You see how fast R&D works? What, you got to wait two generations before they come out?
Well, if you're making fake shit,
yeah,
I love
time flies.
What are they working on instead?
Oh, that's awesome. Watching the legs scatter is so funny. It's so lifelike. Like it looks like a skinny, like a woman. Like, oh my God. Herbert, slow down, will you? It's icy. Like holding a armoire.
Stupid crap.
Fucking piece of shit idiot.
Disgusting, inhuman trash.
So dumb.
Disgusting.
But like they do, like, you know, they always like put products out like they're like it's fucking nuts, man. It's
I wonder if they'll ever get busted like
insider trading shit
for like just if emails get leaked or something of like
Yeah.
management or engineers knowing that this stuff is not going to pay off, and they're just doing it to boost the stock price, like a Theranos type thing.
Yeah.
They've been at this. They've been at this since 1990. Well, go to Boston Dynamics Wikipedia.
40 years to make a fake dog video.
Yeah, man.
That's bullshit. 40 years to do this, 50 years to do that.
So Boston Dynamics is basically a new NASA.
It's
Private NASA.
I don't even know what they do.
32 years ago, founded 32 years ago. Wow, they really did so much.
They probably made like the caps for missiles and stuff like that.
They made a good enough video that Google bought them in 2013. Google sold them in 2017. Such a good asset that Google sold them. Then a Japanese bank bought them in 2017, sold them in 2020. So they only own, when you buy a real hot property,
Pass around.
You want to, it's a pass around girl.
Yeah.
And now Hyundai owns it. I'm sure Hyundai's really excited.
Hyundai is doing remote control excavators on mining excavators. That's the new manless. Everybody works in like a big factory, like a big office building, and you run camera sensitive excavator. That's like their big innovation, which has been around again since like 06.
Can't they have a fucking AI do it?
Probably.
They could have an AI do spell checker on the website support bot.
Nevermore.
Yeah, nevermore. It can suggest text to send you to.
It can link you to FAQ pages of the FAQ instead of answering your question for you.
That's helpful because then you
That's
probably
a
already
hot
have
little
the question.
AI right there.
Giving me results from 15 years ago. Thanks a lot.
Blazing fast.
Yeah, 500 employees. Burning
Nancy
through.
Cornelius. Can you look up Nancy Cornelius and Mark Rybert? Nancy Cornelius. Let's see what she looks like.
Mark Ribbit.
She looks like a crow's
I bet
face.
she looks like a ghoulish bitch. Type in Boston Dynamics afterwards.
Yeah. It's a picture of her spread eagle pissing into a jar.
A woman co-founder. That's how you know this is cap.
Oh,
Stupid bitch.
It's Barbara O'Neill. Cayenne pepper.
it's April O'Neil.
Who's the other person?
Mark
Raybart.
Rybart.
Reibart.
This bitch looks like she's started a cult. She's got a cult starter
Oh,
face.
man.
There we go. Yeah, that's a real engineer right there.
Lex Friedman.
He's got his face looks like he's fucking about to ask you for money.
It's Bashar.
He looks like a cult leader guy asking for money.
He looks exactly like Bashar.
Bring back Steve Ballmer. Developers.
Hell
Bring.
yeah.
I mean, is there anything better?
Look how similar he looks to this guy.
Oh,
Wow.
This guy talks to aliens.
Wow. So this is the guy that started the big bad robot company. CEO says creepy looking robots will soon be everywhere. Go to that.
Was that a threat?
Go back to what you just had there.
Okay.
It's right there. Business Insider.
A Business Insider.
It's there. You go. Boom. When's this article dated? 7 years ago. 2017.
Yeah, 7 years
Yep.
ago.
So soon. So guys, soon, probably in the next 75 years. Creepy headless machines are going to roam the streets like Roombas. You know how useful a Roomba is, right?
Yeah.
They add so much value. We have 5 of them here in this big office.
Yeah, they work good, right?
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
Well, if you just get the cables off the floor, you won't have any more problems.
If you just make it perfect for it, it'll work
If you just clean the floor, it'll clean the floor.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but you haven't cleaned the floor yet, so you have to
Damn
clean
it.
the floor. When are we gonna like accountability and stuff like this? Like, I know we talk about that, but like, I am so fucking sick of that kind of shit where it's like the spooky shit.
Mhm.
If I do it even on this street on this podcast, like if we were just like shouting off like spooky shit, like give me a date, give me a chart, because if it doesn't happen, I'm coming to kick your fucking ass.
You get your ass
Yeah.
beat if the prophecy's wrong.
Seriously though, like putting the fear of God in people, being like robots are going to be everywhere. People don't like that.
Yeah.
People are terrified of what a technocracy.
Technocracy? Yeah.
Yeah, they're terrified of that. You're hyping up technocracy with like battery. You're charging it, and nothing happens. You're like, oh, I guess I was wrong.
Yeah.
And you're like, cool.
Even if you say it with a negative connotation, you're still kind of like willing it into existence.
Yeah.
Yep.
And priming people to accept it.
Terrorism.
But it's not going anywhere because that's the attention economy is ever like if you've sunk 20 years of your life into studying like some bone disease or like something
Right.
where you're going to make a book and try to pitch everybody that this is the life threatening. You got to be on the
Coming.
lookout. Be on the lookout for this. Next 10 years, you're going to start seeing this in children.
Did you drink Mountain Dew once?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So there's 100% chance everybody you know is going to be bald, dead, cancer.
at every level, it's kind of like people are like podcasts to companies trying to bump their stock price. Everybody wants to sort of bring the attention onto all the eyes onto their own thing.
Which we always pitch this circularly, and before the pitch meeting, before we did the podcast, we were talking about how we should start to have a skateboarder-like attitude towards sensationalized technocratic innovations.
Yeah.
Where the new norm started here on the PGL podcast is as soon as someone says something like spooky like that,
Break
you're
a
like,
skateboard over the face. Yes.
Fucking when? No. Dates, motherfucker. Dates. I gave you $3 million. I want answers. You get money blindly. Sam, can I borrow $1 million? I want to build a house.
It's a Hyundai executive yelling that.
Yeah. He's like, yo, you owe me money.
Yeah.
How much? $45 million. Like my money. Mine. Never mind the $200 billion I secured. But me personally, you owe me a lot. Enough to me to fuck you up, dude.
I wish.
That would be so funny.
Some Korean guy.
No one's asking answers on there's no deliverables on any of these contracts. What are bankers all of a sudden turn into the dumbest human you ever seen in your life? Like, well, so they said they're going to build me a robot. When did they say they're going to build your robot? I didn't ask. I forgot to ask.
A banker looking over the financials of Boston Dynamics in a deal.
Yeah,
like the assets that they own.
You're going to build me a robot that can fucking shoot guns at security. It's a security robot. Yeah, we'll build that. Innovation, dogs, spooky everywhere.
Big dog.
Big spooky dog.
You can kick it.
You can kick it from the side 16 years ago.
You kick it, it'll shoot you.
It'll flip on TV. It'll flip in my computer. It'll flip not in real life. But everybody turns into the dumbest motherfucker you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
And this is totally allowed. If you went to the bank and you were like, I'm going to do a TV show, they'd be like, when is the deliverable?
Well, it's fear of missing out on, it's FOMO. It's the same thing that happens in crypto. The big companies and people with MBAs from Columbia, the top guys, they're subject to the same psychological factors that regular people are. So they feel like they're missing out on robotics.
Yeah, but
we can't, our portfolio cannot be light on robotics. We need a robotics play. Who's the name? Give me the name.
The dog one.
The dog one. Give me the dog one. Buy 100,000 shares.
100 billion of my money.
Buy the company. Spend their money.
The teacher's pension of Indiana.
Bought and sold 5 times in 5 years.
Yeah, it's the sluttiest company.
That's crazy. That's a crazy fact about that company.
That's embarrassing.
It means that it's like a fabrication or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It means it's nothing.
It's fake, is what it means.
I bet you show up there. There's granola. There's 10 kinds of granola in
Well, we got
Apple should buy them.
We got Big Dog. We got Cheetah. We got Little Dog. We got Pet Man. Let's see what Pet Man's about.
Man.
Here we go.
Wow,
Pet
cool.
Man. LS3. That's the cow
That's
version.
a Corvette. That's a Corvette engine.
It's a 96 LS.
It's got a Corvette. It's got an LS3 in it.
That's what it sounds like. It's going 1 mile an hour.
If they did something, they should do that. It'd be cool.
Oh, we got Spot.
There's Spot right there.
Cool.
And then Pick.
No oversight. And why would we think that high-end gizmo and gadget would be the thing that people would
Think of military.
Well, everybody's primed by science fiction, and it is the one of the Faustian dreams of man. It's the impulse to create a doll, or a golem or something. I mean, this goes back thousands of years, but to create something, to create life, to take it's like Prometheus, the power that God has to create life. We want the power to create a simulacrum of life, right?
A sentient calculator.
Ultimately, yeah, we want to something that looks human, acts human, thinks like a human, as close as we can get. That would be that's the technocratic. That's the dream of people that are I mean, that's ancient though.
Yeah,
That's ancient.
it goes on.
It's gay.
Forever.
But don't have a baby.
Don't have a baby. You can't have kids.
Don't have the thing that you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Isn't that really I want to fuck a computer. I want to fuck a bunch of car parts.
Yeah.
I hope it fucks me.
It's just dehumanizing until it's only technology, something crazy like that at the end.
But I do think that it's whether or not it's natural. I mean, it's something that speaks to it speaks to a lot of people. I remember going to anybody it has anything to do with sci-fi, going to computer camp, going to the game store. It's
awesome.
A natural impulse or something of a 12-year-old to be I want to create a robot that does, just something about it that is human.
Yeah.
About that impulse.
Legos.
I don't know really how to explain it, but
I mean, I get it. I mean, to make this is my digit, my gizmo friend.
Well, the thing is just how far from how far from the actual application we are. What people don't what the smartest people don't get is the difference between 95% and 99% and 100% is like worlds. So if you think about self-driving technology, we had self-driving technology in Grand Theft Auto, right? Like you've got traffic laws in Grand Theft Auto, you have cars moving around according to rules and they bump into each other every once in a while. That right there is 95% of the problem. That's like a big chunk of the problem. In Grand Theft Auto, they created a realistic looking city with realistic traffic patterns. People get out of their cars, you pull them out of the car, like police pull you over with the game Mafia, like if you speed or violate. Like LA Noire has even more realistic. That's 95% of the problem right there. Then going to 99% is like from that to where Tesla's at with FSD, with like object recognition and stuff. Like another 4% of the problem requires like hundreds, thousands, 10,000, 100,000 times as much money and human effort to figure out. And then what's the last 1% of the problem take? The last 1% is like make this so that it's make it so it's so much safer than human driving that people choose to adopt this, and you'd be stupid not to. That's what the last 1% is. Like, imagine every situation you've been in a car. Like when we were in New Hampshire, we blew up that car. We were driving through the woods in the Raptor to get away from the police coming. Stuff like that. Like how are you going to do that without loss of human life? Backing into really tough spots. The stuff that imagine your top 10 hairiest driving moments where you had to do it and you didn't die. That type of thing. That's the last 1%. How much more is that going to take? And if you're really smart, you look at it and you go, oh, we're already at 99%. We only have to get 1% better, and full self-driving is going to be active this year. But that's what they said like 8 years ago. The reason for that is because the nature of like complexity and problems is exponential. It's like turbo. Like it's even a smart person can't understand it until you've bitten. Like Elon Musk, I think probably understands it. He probably talks a game to shareholders, but he knows how difficult it is because he's bitten off the problem and he's like chewing it right now. That's the only way you can tell how hard that last 1% is.
And you know what it is? Stealing Hellcats.
Hell yeah.
He can't
that
figure
type of shit.
Like that. He's like this. How do I keep that variable out?
That type of shit. What's the computer going to do if a Hellcat owner
crashes into it,
pulls over, fake out like he's going to get out for the cop, but then goes, oh, hell no, takes off, ripping through tunnels, which is a badass video. I don't know if you've seen it. But that type of thing, scenarios like that. Anyway,
he doesn't know how to get to that, like that, and that's what it is.
The robotics thing, like the problem is that the people who really love, who are lured into this industry by how cool it is, and by like, I guarantee you that anybody that works in robotics they do it because they read science fiction or played Warhammer or something, and they're like, it would be so awesome if there were robots walking around. Like they're tricked into that, and and the industry that they're tricked into, like it's like they don't understand how far, like the thing I've talked about before is if you have robot police and a robot police officer accidentally kills an unarmed black kid. The company's over, robotic police are over. You won't have robotic police again for 50 years until like 2 generations of people have forgotten about Lamar, little boy was killed by a robot cop. Okay. And every company that's invested in this, their stock price tanks. Like that's the type of thing. Like even if, and then the other thing is like the physical side of things, like screwing on a cap. If you're in a factory, like the Kawasaki factory, and the bottle comes up perfectly, and the cap is already in the robot's hand, like that's easy, right? But if the cap's over there and the bottle has a dent in it or whatever, or is a different weight than the arm's expecting, like all these types of the variables compound. Like the more variables you add in, it doesn't just get like adding variables doesn't make something linearly more complicated and difficult. It makes it exponentially more complicated.
Earthquakes,
and difficult.
Wind, the material in the factory, the temperature of the factory. A breakdown one time over manufacturing.
Well, what I'm saying is robotics outside of a factory context.
Oh, yeah.
Because robotics are very useful inside the context of an assembly line.
KUKA.
For a lot of things, but they still haven't replaced all humans in factories. That should tell you that even in a factory, which is a very controlled environment, like an assembly line where every station has only one task, there's still shit being done by humans.
100%.
So the robots are good for like stuff that's going to tire a human out, like suction, grab a door, lift it up, rotate it, put it over here, like that type of thing. But like more finesse work outside of a factory, robots are just not there. If they were, they've been trying to do this shit for 30 years. If the technology was there, we'd have robots walking around now doing shit that's useful.
Type in KUKA, KUKA robots. That's probably, there's the most concentration of them in Alabama, and you would get the realest answer ever by an Alabama Mercedes-Benz auto factory worker on these robots. Like, man, these motherfucking robots be breaking down. The hose is leaked. Motherfucking hose is always leaking on them.
The Roomba is the most perfect evidence for this problem, because what the Roomba, the problem that it's trying to solve, like the constraints are so simple. It's a two-dimensional space. It's a room with like boundaries. Like the Roomba encounters stairs and walls and stuff, and those are three-dimensional things. But when it does that, it's just a two-dimensional boundary. So it is 2 dimensions only, and it only has to do one thing. It only has to move around vacuuming shit. And if it were useful, we would have them. They're not expensive. Like if a Roomba was useful and did something that added value to your life, the pros outweighed the cons of having this ugly thing taking up storage space and fucking up over certain services and stuff. You would have one in your house. It's not like you can't afford it or something, right?
It's to torture animals.
Yeah.
Yes, it's to have your cat to have a truck. I mean, it's I've always hated like gizmos and gadgets, and I feel like it's just a big con, and it sort of like sells the dream. And I think from like the tech side of like working in like a Boston Dynamics, it's like you think you're going to be this literal like Silicon Valley cool guy. That's the promise and the lore, that you're an early adapter. And I think we've seen the life cycle of tech companies come and go, like Puffer Vest. I was early in I was really early in before the sellout for BioFire, and then what really happens is you get head from an Indian guy.
This one I don't like.
And his dick stinks.
Yeah. Like, wow.
While he's giving you head, his dick stinks so bad you can smell it.
You're shooting yourself with the BioFire smart gun.
Yeah, this is a good product. You can have this hanging out in your room.
Yeah, that's cool. You should
leave it in the kids' room.
Wow. I think you can only fire it with a finger.
Yeah, it's like Deus Ex.
So it's safe to have in a child's room.
The Demolition Man.
Butcher Bay had the guns you couldn't use because they were marked like that. You couldn't pick up a guard's gun.
Judge Dredd had that too, yeah. Judge Dredd had it so it was booby trapped. So if you tried to shoot a judge's gun, it would blow up in your hand. But yeah, this is a good product. You can leave this in your kid's room, and it definitely won't malfunction when there's a home intruder and your hands are sweaty.
The batteries
it doesn't
are done.
happen. It doesn't happen.
The batteries died. You're dead.
Oh shit! It looks like your charging port was rusty.
It's got facial recognition. Yeah, my iPhone is the facial recognition on my iPhone's never malfunctioned, especially in the dark.
Put in a password when you're getting your gun out.
Yeah, the guy's like this. I'm gonna rape you, motherfucker.
Your PIN.
Sad.
Oh, the battery lasts months, so I'll remember to charge that.
Yeah, that's what you need. That's what I was looking for in my battery gun. I hope this thing lasts for months, so I can leave it off the charger.
Yeah.
So I could be a fucking bonehead.
Yeah.
Use one of these.
Buying guns that come pre-crippled.
That's so fucking dumb. I like no non-checking of that. Like social services is really bad. Technology and investments is really bad. Just no one ever doing anything and checking anything.
It's just part of the excitement. Like what you were saying with
we get this?
We should get that. What you were saying, the early adopter thing, it's just part of the, you want to feel like you're part of the future or something, you know?
Yeah.
That's how these people want to feel. And then if you're investing in it, like the way FOMO feels, you can't do due diligence because it takes too long. If you do your due diligence, you're gonna miss out.
Yeah.
And even when people are telling you like, no, don't buy whatever coin. Like you could have a bunch of negative information coming your way, and it doesn't do anything. It even like bolsters your position. It makes you more excited. Like I have a contrarian position. These people are telling me not to do it. I've got to be onto something. I got to buy slut coin.
Yeah, cat girl.
Yeah.
Wow.
Batman coin.
And the people like executives, they get that. They feel that it's just human psychology. Like even people that should know better that work at banks and stuff, they get that feeling.
We get to watch people gamble. with like teachers' pension funds.
Especially if you worked at Hyundai. What are you thinking? If you work at Hyundai, what are you thinking? How are you gonna? What's gonna happen? Hyundai's gonna start making great products.
As a shareholder,
hell no.
Yeah, you'd say, "Oh, I know that."
We got in another ugly piece of shit. No, we have to find something outside our company to invest in because Hyundai sucks.
Yeah.
If you were realistic and you knew what Hyundai was and you worked at Hyundai
and
you were an executive, you'd think, well, we can't make good cars. We definitely got to take our money.
Dogs.
Get our nuts somewhere else.
Yeah, mining equipment and construction equipment is probably where they're shifting their big parallel. They have like Samsung makes granite countertops. We've talked about that.
Oh.
Korean companies have no holds barred style.
Yeah, it's like Valley Tudo.
It's kind of like Amazon's becoming. Amazon buying anything and everything now. They're like, fuck it, we'll buy it. Oh, it's good? Buy it. Buy it.
Super company. I want super company.
Tell him, Tran. He's like, good. They just pick like a Hyundai executive. He's big, make money.
They should start making cars. They should.
Antitrust laws are like totally not even real. Like, no, nothing.
They should start having more cross-eyed executives.
Yeah. Leave me alone. You make fun of me? They're brassy.
Hell yeah.
You're making fun of me? That's all they talk about.
Ruthless.
They're getting paid like $6 million. That's like enough. Like an Asian baseball player's wife.
Amazon owns Zappos.
Yeah.
Oh,
do they own these outright, or are they like a partial owner?
Shipping deals.
Shop Bop.
Holy shit.
Remember when Woot was around before Amazon bought it?
Oh man, Amazon's a beast.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They were trying to buy. They were trying to buy Roomba. Man. Actually, they were trying to buy Roomba.
Fucking look at that.
MGM. You like that?
What about that?
Wow.
MGM.
Yeah, they own the film. They own Yes Network, which is so funny. Mark Cuban's on it.
Ugh.
Good for them.
Oh, they got SageMaker?
Yeah.
Oh.
Fire that up on the computer, Charles. Elastic beanstalk.
What's that supposed to do?
Wickedly prime.
They were trying to buy Roomba a couple weeks ago, and I thought that was just to get like internal home data. To get like schematics of your home.
Oh, yep.
Combine that with the Alexa so they can fucking
just shoot your fucking dog. Like the DNA wife owning like the Google DNA guy, Sergey Brin's wife runs 23andMe.
Oh, yep.
That's fun. That was a fun one. That was nice and comfortable.
Sister to the YouTube CEO.
Yeah, nice warm blanket.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's fun.
Some sort of a cabal, kind of.
I gotta pee.
Oh, I do too.
I'm gonna drink you guys'
dong.
Yeah, I'll drink and then I'll smoke my piss.
You guys.